fellas, welcome back to Cringe Confessional, the cringiest show on the internet. I set up an anonymous forum at cringe.coney.gg where people from all walks of the internet can send me their most embarrassing stories, and then I read them here on the internet too. And then we look at all their IPs and laugh. You live there, in that house, with that dog, with that car? By the way, if you're watching, and I've been doing this on all my videos lately, could you please like and subscribe? I'm almost at 200k subs. I don't normally do this, and I'm very embarrassed to do it, but we're this close. I'll stop doing it after. 200,001 sub, it's over. But until the 200,000, I need it. Thank you. Let's get to cringing, shall we?
It's September 2022. I'm in 6th grade and my friends added me to a Discord group chat.
Okay.
One day, one of the girls in the group chat said, "What you guys doing?"
Wait a minute, I didn't do the math. Wait, 6th grade in 2022. They are 14 now. They allowed to be on Twitch? Well, hold on. This was in August of last year. They might be 15.
As a cringe 11-year-old, I said, "Your mom."
Good one.
What I did not know, though, was that her mom was dead. I then got told that I should kill myself by multiple people, even though I said I didn't know. Then her boyfriend got on. He told me that I should met Kobe and that he was going to jump me.
Okay.
I then left the group chat, and I still have multiple classes with some of the people who told me to kill myself.
That's the end of the story. This guy is definitely 14. This guy is definitely a 14-year-old. That's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you. You have a terrible life ahead of you, man. Things are gonna get so much worse. That's like a social faux pas you're gonna think about until you're like 19, and then you have to get a job, and then so many worse things are gonna happen to you, especially if you're in customer service. You might have had a worse experience in the time between August when this story was submitted and today. You should write back in.
When my girlfriend asks me if I would still love her if she was a worm, I always say yes and that I would make a little habitat for her.
I don't like that. Did you like rehearse that answer? Did you see it on TikTok and you were like, I'm ready for this QuickTime event?
I don't think I would still love her if she was a worm. Am I going to hell?
Okay, first off, that's not a confessional. I mean, it kind of is, but that's not what this forum is for. Second off, you are also 15. This is another 15-year-old. This is a very young cringe confessional. I shouldn't be reading these stories. That's the whole story, yeah. There's a billion fish in the sea. There are 7 billion people on the planet. You know, there's always somebody else out there. There's like 8,000 billion worms. If you would love that worm, you would love so many other worms, like a lot more. What would you do if chat turned into a worm? Get a new job, I think. I'll put you all on fish hooks. Who's baiting now? Come on, that was a good one. That was a good, because you guys say I'm baiting all the time. That was funny, man.
Not sure if this fits because it's more embarrassing than funny.
I'll be the judge.
It was my 10th birthday party. I wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because at that time it was my favorite restaurant.
At 10 years old, your favorite restaurant is Buffalo Wild Wings? That's sad. Why? I don't know. Like, that feels like Buffalo Wild Wings is the favorite restaurant of like a mid-30s Wisconsinite.
My dad was well known for eating very spicy food, and being 10 I wanted to impress him, so I proceed to order the hottest wings on the menu, ignoring warnings from everyone around me.
That's cute.
My dad has foresight and proceeds to pull out his cell phone and
your
wait.
dad's an asshole.
About 30 seconds after eating all of the wings, I begin to regret everything that's ever happened, and my dad presses record. I proceed to rub my lips and cry and try to find some way to ease my suffering. I'm handed a 4 ounces cup of blue cheese and told it will help, and in my pain-filled mind the only thing I can think to do is dip my lips in the cup. So there I am crying and shaking with lips covered in blue cheese, and that's when the flash from my sister's phone goes off.
Okay. What I'm imagining is like leaning down like this, getting on your face, and then just You have a family of sadists.
I don't remember how long it lasted, but I eventually calmed down
like, couldn't Mom help? Where's Mom?
One day I'm scrolling through YouTube, and I find the public video my dad had posted of me, and that apparently had been passed around to all of my family and any person my sisters had met in the past. For years.
They included the link. The link is right here. I have the link. Hello, Gavin. This is Gavin at his favorite restaurant, Buffalo Wild Wings. Lots of blue cheese, Gavin. Bro is munching on the carrots. Poor Gavin, bro. Oh, Gavin. Oh, this is sad. Gavin, get the blue cheese. Get the cheese.
No, don't make a mess.
I bet that shit feels so good, though. I bet that shit feels so... That shit... Whoo! Thank goodness. I bet that shit was relaxing, right?
Gavin.
It looked like Guy Fieri. He got the Santa Claus. Bro, what, is that toothpaste? What the fuck is that? What? Oh, another. Okay, I was like, they got Chris?
It really does end.
Everybody, it does end. This will not last forever. This will not last the rest of your life, Gavin. Don't worry.
Get a picture of your misery.
This is... Dude, the Flash. The Flash. Kevin, no! Why are people taking pictures? Oh, I just wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. That's a great story. Gavin, thank you for writing in. That's tremendous. This was 12 years ago, by the way. So if Gavin is 10, he's now 22. God bless you, Gavin. Thanks for writing in.
Ever since I was just 2 years old, I have always been a big Toy Story fan, especially
now?
a Buzz Lightyear one. And when I was like 5, my mom got me a Buzz Lightyear toy, and I loved it so much.
That's adorable.
Every time I went out to go anywhere, I took my Buzz Lightyear toy as well, like any kid would have done at that age.
Right. He's not a space ranger! Seen Toy Story so many times, the lines are fucking going off in my head.
The one day I finally decided to not bring my Buzz Lightyear toy to my local mall with my mom.
Yeah.
Guess what I found there?
Tim Allen.
Another kid holding his own Buzz Lightyear toy. Since I was a child, and children are fucking dumb as shit, I thought that kid stole my Buzz Lightyear, and so I tried to steal his toy.
Hey! That's mine! Imagine being that parent. How do you describe this? No, honey. He has his own Buzz Lightyear. There's only one! He's just visiting that kid. Why doesn't he love me? He should wait for me!
We basically yelled at each other like, that's my Buzz Lightyear. No, it's my Buzz Lightyear. Whole spiel. Thankfully,
That's awesome.
not many people were at
That's
the mall at
very
that time.
funny.
I was in tears for the car ride home until I got to see my Buzz Lightyear toy still at the same place
That's
when I
very
left him
funny.
before leaving.
That's
and
very
it made
funny.
me instantly happy before immediately playing with
That
him
is
again.
adorable. That's a great story. Hey, he went on his own little adventure, met a new kid, went to the mall, got home before you did. Good for Buzz, bro. W Buzz.
When I was very young, like somewhere from 4 to 6,
Mhm.
I thought nudity was hilarious.
That's normal.
This was also the age when I first got an iPad.
Okay.
My mom found over 200 saved pictures of scaring boobs I found on the internet and made me delete them all.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, Dude, you guys are on very different wavelengths. If my 4 to 6 year old son had 200 pictures of Skyrim boobs, I would send him to therapy. I'd be like, "Oh fuck." But they think it's funny. Like it's funny to them. It's not that, you know? That's it's funny, bro. Look, it's silly. Funny Skyrim boobies. I've said this before on stream. My kid was like weirdly fixated on Despicable Me 3, I think, because she kept wanting to see naked Gru. There's a scene where Gru, like, gets all of his clothes blown off by, like, a big fan. And she'd be like, I want to see naked Gru. And I'm like, what the fuck? It gets one scene. It's like 5 seconds.
One day when I was 15, I was walking towards my house after playing Dota with my friends.
Fun.
I saw a big-ass Tokay gecko standing in the garden.
I don't know what a Tokay is.
I'm not
but-
super scared of them, but there's always this feeling on unease when I see them.
Let me see it. Hold on. Oh, that's cool. Holy shit, that's awesome. Where do you live? Wait, I can buy one? Tokay geckos take their name from the loud call they make while mating. These guys are awesome. I love these. I will have an IRL gex. Tokay!
We got a Tokay gecko. Ooh, we got another one.
Bro.
We got another one. Tokay gecko. We got a Tokay gecko. We got a Tokay gecko. We got a Tokay gecko.
I'm not even joking. I'm going to get a Tokay gecko.
Look at this juicy handful of
Oh my god! That's scary! This is chat when I upload. Yay! YouTube video.
While I was walking, I suddenly remember some Facebook post about somebody getting bitten by one. And at that moment, the gecko turned its head towards me. It started running towards me. I panicked and ran around the garden.
Okay.
And as it prepared to lunge at me, I jumped in place and stomped on its head as I landed like it was a Goomba.
Oh my god, dude. I mean, it sounds like it was you or him. It sounds like they were being very aggressive, like you had to do something. He thought it was tail time.
After killing it, I picked it up with a stick and threw it over the gate. But as it was in the air, a minivan intercepted it, causing the driver to turn and hit the street light at the side of the road. All they reported was that a gecko had suddenly fallen at his windshield, and no one suspected that I threw it.
Were you like sitting over the gate like this, listening to him regale the tale to the officer, just like this through the fence, like the perfect
It
crime?
has been 9 years since it has happened, and I haven't told the story to anyone but you.
That's an awesome story. Thank you for writing in. That is awesome. That's a great story. I appreciate you writing in. I will not report you to the authorities. I'm not gonna narc you out.
For this story, it is important background knowledge that in Sonic Advance 1, Knuckles has clear animation, where he does a fist pump in the air while running.
Did you do the Knuckles act clear animation? I bet you did. I think I know what you mean, where he does like the spin. It almost looked like a Shoryu, right?
Now, when we did laps during elementary PE, I thought it would be very cool for me to replicate said fist pump when I reached the second to last lap, not realizing there was a kid almost directly beside me when I did it.
Wait, so you didn't even do it on the last lap?
I somehow didn't even register my fist had made contact with
Did you
anything
keep
in the
running?
moment, but a teacher pulled me aside afterwards to ask me why I punched Ethan during lap. I didn't think explaining the Sonic stuff would go over well, so I just said I don't know.
Yeah.
I uppercut this kid so fucking hard that I did not see him for the rest of the day. Sorry, Ethan.
You just Shoryuken that kid and kept going. The fact that you didn't notice is so much funnier. Because you just kept running on the path, just fucking sprinting on this path. Why'd you do that? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right play. I feel like it is. I feel like saying that you were doing a Sonic animation would be weirder. My bad, Ethan. Oops. Imagine being Ethan. What the fuck was that guy's problem? Why did that guy do that?
It was the year 2015, and I was a fedora-clad know-it-all entering my freshman year of
Yup.
college, fresh off a life of homeschool.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's bad. This is one of the juiciest intros we've ever had.
I took a world religion class that year, and the teacher was a very nice elderly man.
Okay.
I spent the first half of the semester answering every question he posed to the class, just to show that I was smart.
Man, that's
Imagine
tough.
my glee when we got to the unit on Christianity, my own religion, and I was ready to not let anyone else talk for the rest of the class.
I got this one. He died on the cross for our sins, and he will see all of us into the kingdom of heaven. Right, Teach?
I think the professor got tired of my antics, and he stared directly at the depths of my soul and said plainly, "Son, you need a girlfriend." Everyone began laughing,
Oh.
but I then said the first thing that came to my
Oh.
freshman brain, veins pumping with soy boy energy pouring down from my fedora-laced skull.
What is it? I don't need a girlfriend. Christ is my girlfriend. Who needs a girlfriend when you had the love of Christ? Uno reverse. He drops a slur. Shut the fuck up! He just goes Xbox Live mode. He doesn't know barriers yet. Okay, what did he say?
History is my girlfriend.
Hell yeah. Giga Chad.
I thought I owned the moment and people thought I was so cool. Looking back, the room was dead quiet because I'm sure people had not heard such cringe before.
Sure.
Although, I am presently working on a PhD in history, so I guess the relationship is still steady at least.
Dude, stop. Stop pushing the bit, man. Stop. He didn't learn. I feel so bad for homeschool kids, man. I really do. Like, that's such a bummer. I get why parents would do it, but I also think, like, that poor kid.
When I was in middle school, my friend and I were enamored by YouTube prank channels.
Oh, I bet.
We would brainstorm what
I
we
bet
thought
those things were
clever
very
pranks,
popular.
and settled on what, looking back now, was not a great idea to begin with.
Okay.
The ideas were we're going to make a mannequin from old clothes by stuffing an old pair of pants and jacket with other clothes.
Okay.
Bring it up to the roof, and wait for someone to drive by while we pulled a string and made it fall off the roof to get a reaction.
Okay.
That Friday after school, I was at home and stuffed up
This
the
is
clothes
kind
to
of a
make the
funny
mannequin.
prank.
It was
I
a little
guess.
difficult getting everything to fit and look natural in jeans, so I
Okay.
decided to use some thin sweatpants. I finished up the top and bottom and squirted the mannequin halves under my bed before going to sleep. The next day, my parents found it and pulled me aside to start interrogating me about what I was doing with it.
Oh, that's a weird conversation to have. School project. School project. It's for a diorama.
I figured there's not really a good excuse, so I just came clean and said it was for a prank.
Okay,
But my
sure.
parents were weirdly fixated and kept drilling me for answers, and I couldn't find out why they seemed so concerned.
I think it's weird that your parents would be that fixated, although I wonder if there were other things happening that might have tipped them off to such a thing. Why would they come to a different conclusion, Chatter? I think there's more to the story than you're letting on. Coney, are you mentally prepared to have these conversations with your kid? I better not find no mannequin under her bed.
When I got back to my room to disassemble the fake person, it was resting on top of my bed and something stood out.
Okay.
I realized I had made an error while pushing clothes into the waist of the bottom half that
No.
had resulted in a tear on the seam, making a very Zeus-looking hole right on the rear.
Oh
Oops.
my
About a week
god.
later, my parents had me talk to a SA counselor to find out if something was going on.
Holy
The actual truth
shit,
was so
man.
stupid. This went on for several sessions with no developments.
Oh. The parents are like, seriously, if your counselor is doing something, you need to tell us. No, man, I was going to push you off a building. He's still in denial. That counselor got their closet deep. Holy shit, dude.
I'm fairly certain my parents to this day still think I was in a romantic relationship with a pile of clothes.
Oh my god, dude. That's fucking bad. That's what happens when the parenting is too good. When the parents take too active an interest, you gotta let kids do dumb, stupid bullshit too. That's bad. I was gonna stage a murder. I was gonna pretend this guy committed suicide, Mom. It was gonna be really funny.
I was a very romantically stunted kid compared to my other friends in middle school.
Middle school.
So when I wanted to ask a girl out, I went with the first thing
feel
I
like
can
that's
think
normal.
of. Ask her out on Valentine's Day in front of the whole class.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the store with my mom and got a small
Oh.
bear in a basket wrapped in plastic,
Oh.
chocolate, and a rose. I felt so ready. The next day comes and I only have math class with this girl, so that was my time to strike.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Everyone had seen me with my basket all day and asked who it was for, but I never told anyone, so it didn't get to her before I saw her.
Oh. Imagine being a girl in that grade like, oh god, please don't let it be me.
Math class came, and after working up the nerve to get up and give it to her, I crossed the entire classroom to give her this basket
this
and
poor
ask her out.
girl.
She smiled and gave me a hug and said thank you.
Oh,
She said she'd think about it, but then shot me down as soon as class was over.
that is a very nice girl. That is a very nice young lady. She handled that in the best way possible. God bless her for doing that.
The worst part of this whole thing was when my family went out to
no.
dinner that night. I ran into her best friend who saw everything.
Whoa! I thought
She
your mom
proceeded
would
to yell
ask.
across the parking lot with my mom, dad, and brothers there. Jenny says she's sorry, and I had to explain to my mom that I got rejected. This was the beginning of a tradition of me getting rejected every Valentine's Day for the next 5 years. I, to this day, hate Valentine's Day.
Did you keep making baskets? Stop making baskets! They don't like that shit. Stop making big... Dude, imagine being in this guy's grade and every year he come out with the big-ass basket. Oh, no. Jenny last year, Susie this year. Who's gonna be next? On Valentine's Day, every year, this guy show up in the full suit and the bow tie with the big-ass basket. He asked out Jenny every year. Jenny's like, oh my god, every year I'm too nice. Every year I'm so nice.
I was in the 2nd grade, and like many, I had a crush on a girl in my class. So one day we are doing physical education and doing laps around the basketball courts outside or something, and I figure now is an excellent time to make a move.
Okay.
I should do something cool. When I pass her, I think to myself, and who is cooler than Sonic the Hedgehog?
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why do you guys keep doing this? This is like a whole genre on Cringe Confessional where it's a guy like, I did a Sonic the Hedgehog animation. This is the 2nd time tonight. This is a constant. You guys always want to be Sonic the Hedgehog.
So I run past her, turn around, and say, gotta go fast.
Oh my fucking god.
And then trip over myself while running backwards and fall directly on my ass in front of her.
Oh my god.
She stops walking, starts laughing, and doesn't even try and help me up.
Uh-huh.
When I finally get myself up from the ground, she's like, wait, can you do that again? That was funny. In a moment of weakness, I thought if she thinks this is funny, maybe this is how I can earn her affections. And I am very sorry to say I did the exact same thing again.
Yeah.
The gotta go fast and the fall on my ass and me helping myself back up again. She laughed again and then I said bye afterwards. We never spoke again.
She probably remembers you. And she doesn't know who Sonic the Hedgehog is. So she thought you just came up with that bit yourself. She thought that you were that's your thing. Like, that's your character, right? She shares this story. Yeah, she definitely remembers this. She might tell other people, but I think somebody at some point in her life is going to be like, I think Sonic says that. And then they're going to look on YouTube and be like, yeah, that was definitely Sonic. Why did that guy pretend to be Sonic? I don't know. Bro had the funny angle and didn't follow up? No, I don't think so. There's laughing with you or laughing at you, right? I don't think you're going with like a funny Buster Keaton, pratfall, physical comedy thing in high school. Middle school? 2nd grade.
In my senior year of high school, I would often bring my Switch to lunch to have something else to do while waiting for my next class.
Okay.
One time, one of my friends from my Japanese class came over and asked what I was playing.
Okay.
I told him that it was Xenoblade. He hadn't heard of the game before this point, so knowing that I played it didn't really mean anything to him. Many months later, toward the end of the school year, we were having a little conversation in class about how much people should study versus how many hours people put into video games.
Okay.
He wondered how much time I spent playing Xenoblade. Almost immediately after that, one of my other classmates said, "Oh, I can't believe that you play Xenoblade. Isn't that the game where you collect women like Pokemon?"
That's me. That was me. That's what I ask. That classmate was me. That classmate? Coney. It was just me with a backwards hat in the back of the class. Xenoblade! Wait a minute! Isn't that... Nobody noticed that I'm 36 years old in the back of the class. Wait a minute! Ain't that the game where you collect women? And then I wait for everybody to discuss, and then I climb out of the window. I gotta make sure these kids aren't playing Xenoblade. It's for their own good.
My friend gave me a questioning look, and they didn't know how to defend
Yeah, I bet you didn't. There's nothing
The
else.
next time I met him, he asked me what Xenoblade was really about. These days, though, I am very hesitant to talk about Xenoblade with other people out of the fear that they will think I am a horrible person for liking it.
I don't think you're a horrible person for liking it. I make fun of Xenoblade a lot, but when somebody says they like it, I'm like, what do you like? I'm a little curious. The reputation is so much worse than the game actually is for, like, no reason. Uh-oh! Chatter alert! It's him! It's that guy! It's that guy! Fuck it, normies, tell them what you love, even if they don't like it. Okay. That's the same chatter. The same chatter just said the reputation is bad for no reason, and also you should tell normies what you like. You are... I'm smelling it. I'm getting a scent. I'm kind of joking. Okay. Okay. No, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the room. Perhaps.
Back in middle school, I had a huge crush on this girl named Sarah. I,
Okay.
as a shy kid,
Yeah.
had the brilliant idea to ask her out through text as I had just recently gotten my first real flip phone a few months earlier.
Wicked.
However, I didn't just want to send a boring old text message.
GIF?
It needed to be
Emoji?
something special and unique.
Voice message?
I came up with the idea in class of using the pens and pencils I had to spell out "Will you go out with me?"
Men's and pencils?
send that as
oh,
a picture.
pens. Pens.
Unfortunately, I only had enough writing utensils to do it one letter at a time. I figured sending them while we were in the same classroom would be a great idea.
Please, 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 please tell me this story is going where I think it's going. Please, please. I'm just imagining. I think it's very funny that he has to keep doing it, but I think it's funnier if he takes all the pictures and then her phone just keeps going like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
There I was in class with my 18 pictures
Yeah,
of various
perfect.
letters
Yep,
we
you take 'em all
organized and
first.
ready to
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Only after I had sent all of the letter photos did I and everyone else in the room realize her ringer was turned on. In hindsight, I wish I could have seen my face as I sat there in horror as her phone went off 18 times in quick succession.
Is someone dead? Is that my mom? What the fuck? Is somebody at the hospital? Is everybody okay? Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
The whole class, including the teacher, were looking at her when she looked at her phone and saw the jumbled mess of photos that had arrived out of order, and then proceeded to look directly at me.
They're out of order. There's like 3 W's in a row. What is that guy saying? What the fuck is this guy talking about? A question mark? Why is there a question mark? What kind of riddle is this? You fucking, like the Zodiac killer just sending a cryptic, and you're looking. She's making eye contact with you the whole time, and you think they're all coming in order. Like you're like, you think they're coming in order. You're like, yep. Well, what do you say? What do I say? What?
Needless to say, she was not impressed.
Oh,
We did not end up dating ever, but have remained acquaintances even now in our mid-late 20s.
that is genuinely one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. That is one of the funniest stories I think. Like, that is so fucking good. Thank you so much for. I genuinely feel honored to have heard that story and for you to have written in. You could have given that to anybody. That is so fucking good. Oh, and you know what? It's a great one to end on. Guys, thanks for watching Cringe Confessional tonight. Great stories, great night, great tales, and we need more. Guys, go to cringe.coney.gg. Please submit your story. I don't want to run out. Do you want this to end? I sure don't. If you're on YouTube and you made it to the end, I need stories. Cringe.confessional or cringe.coney.gg. They're all anonymous, I swear. I only get your IP and an overhead view of your house, but I can't, like, see the front of it, so it's fine. Please submit your stories. Cringe.coney.gg.